Good afternoon, and welcome to the Wednesday afternoon conference call with Trusts Unlimited. This is Jim George speaking. I'm the non-attorney spokesman and facilitator for Trusts Unlimited, and I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to this call. Today is July 31st. This will be a rather short call today. So for those of you calling in for the first time, I would strongly suggest after listening to this call, you go to our call of last week, the 24th. Unfortunately, we in our family experienced an untimely death Monday evening, and we're kind of reeling from this. People are coming into town. Some are staying at my home. So, I'm in the thick of it right now, and frankly, it's kind of difficult to put a call together under the circumstances, but there are some things that need to be said, so I will be brief today. For those of us that have been involved with the Iraqi dinar for any length of time, we know that the MO for Iraq for 20 years has been 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and we find ourselves there once again. Things were moving along pretty well with regard to the monetary reform in Iraq, but both inside and outside of the country there are corrupt individuals for their own personal reasons and political reasons that are pulling out all the stops and doing everything they can to try to indefinitely postpone, if not stop, the monetary reform in Iraq. It's really frustrating, exasperating. I just want to take a swing at someone, but fortunately, and this is in my opinion, Prime Minister Soudani, I think he's going to steamroll these folks. I think it's going to take a little longer than we had hoped, but God willing, this thing will be over in a matter of weeks, and they'll complete the monetary reform. Now, we've been discussing our trust package for, I guess, going on 15 years now, and we were marketing it primarily to dinarians. But with the Biden-Harris administration, we started to also discuss all of the reasons people need to establish this trust package if you're simply an American citizen that wants to protect yourself from the intrusive government that's being created. It seems that the left has pursuing our First Amendment right to free speech. I'll give you an example of that. Just this week, I saw 3 things. First, there has been this iconic picture of Donald Trump waving his fist after he had been shot with his flag in the background. Well, that mysteriously got taken down. Then someone called me and said, "Hey, Jim, I went to Google and I went to Facebook to get information about the quote-unquote assassination attempt, and they said that it was not true, that it didn't happen." And the third thing was one of the .gov sites had taken down Kamala Harris's senatorial voting record. So, these are the things that exasperate us. But on the other hand, it's a sign of absolute desperation, the blatant lies. And this is what they're doing. So they're going after our First Amendment right, free speech, our Fourth Amendment right to privacy. Their push for the central bank digital currency is a blatant violation of our Fourth Amendment right to privacy. They're going after our Fifth Amendment right to due process and our Sixth Amendment right to face our accuser. January 6th is a perfect example of how they have accomplished that. They're going after the states' rights, or 10th Amendment, by trying to centralize everything. And because none of that's working, their latest Hail Mary is we have to completely reimagine the Supreme Court. And all of the suggestions thus far are blatantly unconstitutional. So this is what we're dealing with the left. So I'll discuss the trust package in the context of the worst-case scenario. I don't believe this will happen, but the worst-case scenario would be the election of President Kamala Harris. I don't think that's going to happen, but whether it does or not, the only way to protect your rights pursuant to the Bill of Rights, or the best single way to do that, is by the creation of this trust package, because by creating the trust package, you're asserting and affirming those rights so that the government would have to go to court to show cause why you should be denied those rights. Of course, they can't win. They can't prevail. They know that, which is why this ridiculous proposal with regard to the Supreme Court. The one that I like the most is they want the ethics and disclosure process for the Supreme Court to be reformed. Well, they need to start with the Congress, because that's where the real abuse is. So, it's the pot calling the kettle black. So, as I said, this is a short call. Things are proceeding in Iraq, but there are individuals that are doing what they can to try to stop all of this. I do not think they're going to be successful. I think Soudani, as I said, I think in the end he's going to steamroll all of them. The bad players are going to be called out for what they're attempting to do. We will be in the bank this year, not as quickly as I would have hoped, but I believe with my whole heart that we will be in the bank to exchange our currencies this year. And if it's the fiscal year, it will be before September. It could be this summer. And for those of you calling in for the first time, again, I would go to our call of the 24th of this month to learn a little bit more specifics about our trust package, because the government is unfortunately trying to become more centralized, more authoritarian, and of course that will only be stepped up with the possible election of Kamala Harris. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think her true record is going to be exposed, and we don't have that worry. But for all of the reasons I've discussed here, every American should protect themselves, and the best way to do that is to use a trust package that all of the politicians, all of the wealthy individuals, all of the informed people already have and have had for generations. So thanks so much for listening to the call. Again, hopefully Soudani will be successful and we will be in the banks in the not-too-distant future. But I will be shocked if this is not over, certainly this calendar year, and hopefully by September. So thanks so much for listening, everyone. Have a great week. We'll be back next Wednesday. Certainly if something of a dramatic nature were to happen between now and then, we'll try to schedule an emergency conference call. We'll get that on our website and in our emails. But failing that, our next call will be next Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks so much for listening. And by the way, if you have not established your trust package as of yet, please contact us to do so. You can contact us by phone or email. That information is on our website, Trusts with an S, Unlimited LLC.com, and we will get our trust package out to you immediately. So have a great week, everyone. Look forward to speaking with you next week. Bye-bye now.